Good evening, everyone. I'd like to call the June 10th, 2025 Planning Commission regular meeting to order. The Planning Commission is holding hybrid meetings. Members of the public can attend the meeting in person or observe the meeting on Zoom, online by visiting www.cityofarcata.org and following the live meetings link at the bottom of the city's homepage or on the city's YouTube channel. If you are attending remotely, please be aware that the Zoom feed provides the closest to real-time stream. If you rely on the other feeds and you wish to make comments, please be aware of the time lag on those feeds. The first item on our agenda is the land acknowledgement. The City of Arcata acknowledges that the lands we are located on are the unceded ancestral lands of the Wiyot tribe. The land that Arcata rests on is known in the Wiyot language as Gudene, meaning over in the woods or among the redwoods. Past actions by local, state, and federal governments removed the Wiyot and other indigenous peoples from the land and threatened to destroy their cultural practices. The City of Arcata acknowledges the Wiyot community, their elders both past and present, as well as future generations. This acknowledgement seeks to aid in dismantling the legacy narratives of settler colonialism. Staff, will you please call roll?
Yeah, Commissioner Strickland?
Present.
Commissioner Ham?
Present.
Commissioner Lehman?
Here.
Vice Chair Simmons?
Here.
And Chair Davies.
Here. And we are joined this evening by Community Development Director David Loya and
Kelsey Flederick, our Planner 2.
Again, Planner 1.
Planner 2,
I'm
we're going
Planner
with it.
2. Yep.
And David Case, our City Engineer.
great. Okay.
Assistant City Engineer.
Thank you.
Just gave him a promotion. And for the record, our Commissioner Tegney is not present, and Commissioner Hickey resigned due to her residency status, but that has actually been resolved, and she'll be reappointed June 18th at the City Council meeting, is my expectation.
Great. We all look forward to that, and I am personally really glad that that worked out so that we're not searching for yet another commissioner. Next, we have oral communications. During this time, people may make comments about items that are not on the agenda. If you wish to speak on one of our agenda items, you will have an opportunity when we are discussing those items. If you have comments about items that are not listed on our agenda today, please line up now behind the lectern. If you're on Zoom and you wish to make comments on matters that are not on today's agenda, please raise your hand by selecting the raise hand icon on the right side of your screen or by pressing *9 on your phone. The clerk will unmute you when it is your turn to speak. With that, I'd like to open public comment. Each speaker will have 3 minutes to comment during early oral communications. Feel free to state your name for the record. Looks like there's no one in the gallery. Is there anyone online?
No one online.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. As always, participation and input we're eager for. Consent calendar this evening. We have one item on consent. That is to approve Planning Commission minutes from our regular meeting, May 13th, 2025. Would any commissioner like to pull the item, or do we have a motion?
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion. Does anyone want a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there anyone in the public, either in person or online, that wishes to speak on the consent calendar? Okay. With a motion and a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion passes. We have no public hearings tonight. We will move then directly into business items, and our only item this evening is to adopt Resolution PC 25-03, finding updates to the 2025-2026 CIP consistent with the Arcata 2024 General Plan. And can we begin with the staff report, please?
Good evening, Commissioners. My name is Kelsey Fluderick, and again, I was the one that prepared the staff report with the city engineering team to develop this year's CIP, the Capital Improvement Program, where we were analyzing current and ongoing capital improvement projects. There are 3 new projects this year where I went through the 2045 general plan for compliance or conformance. And then we also did an analysis on the past or the ongoing projects that we still have under the capital improvement program for conformance with the updated general plan, so the 2045 general plan. And yeah, if you have any project-specific questions, David Case is here to answer your questions, but if you have any questions about specific general plan policies, then I can answer them.
Anybody on the commission have questions for Kelsey?
I'm just curious, all the bicycle improvements that you talk about in these projects, what are they going to be like? I mean, for example, the 11th Street and K Street improvements, is that planned to happen this year? And if so, what are they?
To be honest, I don't have any specifics for that specific intersection, but a lot of times, we're trying to improve whatever bicycle facilities we have. So if we have a road that has none, we try to look for a minimum of like our class 3, what we call sharrows. It's a shared lane essentially. And in some cases, in most cases, I would say if we have enough room to do a full-on bike lane, which is a class 2 bike lane, is what we prefer and strive to meet. Oftentimes we're very limited just based on the right-of-way and the roadway width. It's not very often that we will do like a full road reconstruction to do a widening in order to do that, because a lot of our streets are pretty much built out. They've got curb and gutter sidewalks, in which case it would be a significant cost to widen the road, in most cases just a foot or two to accommodate a bike lane. So a lot of the stuff we look at, we try to see if we can make it work within the existing footprint. But some of the other improvements that we do make, it would be like, even if there is a bike lane there, sometimes we do some of the green paint to kind of help in like 2-stage bike queue boxes. And so I don't know if that answers your question exactly. I don't have anything specific, but we just try to strive to make some improvements for bicycle and pedestrian facilities when possible.
Yeah, and I would just add to that the at the stage that we're evaluating the capital improvement program, we don't really have project specification details. It's part of the reason why we don't have a CEQA analysis on at this level. And so really what we're trying to identify is that, overall, is this project type consistent with the general plan? And then when it gets down to a specific intersection, whether it's K and 11th or the 11th Street run, we'll have more detail at that point. And generally, I would say, to add to what David said, is that we follow our complete streets policy as best we can.
Yeah. And maybe just one other thing to add. Many of these projects, they start off, obviously, in more of the planning stages. So in some cases, we know something needs to be done and we want to do something at that intersection, but we still have to do some public outreach. We still have to do some things to figure out exactly what we're going to be doing. So it's obviously the difference between planning stages and construction or design stages. But one thing I just would add to this is that, we are going to be taking, like 2 years ago, we did a full CIP booklet, I call it, a 5-year CIP that we prepared. We didn't end up making one last year, but we are working on one for this upcoming fiscal year, in which case we're going to bring it to council and present it in I think we decided to hold off and do it in August, I believe. But we'll be giving a presentation along with the booklet, and we'll give a lot more details for each of these projects, what stages we're at in them, and where we plan to go with them, and any 5-year plans for them. So, yep.
Thanks for that. Any other questioners? Abby?
How are these projects prioritized, or is it just dependent on like funding sources and availability?
Yeah, that varies. I would say in most cases, a lot of it is funding and timing. So a lot of our projects, as you'll see at some point when you look at the CIP, is a lot of them are based on grants and federal or state money that we get, in which case many of those come with a deadline, in which case we have to have the project either completed or designed. We have to be at some stage in the process. So a lot of times we will prioritize and plan our projects based on those deadlines, so we don't lose that money. But we've got a pretty active engineering department. We have quite a few staff, and we're doing a lot of work in-house. So we're able to jump on and make progress on many of these projects at the same time. Some of the bigger ones that we can't necessarily handle, that we do reach out and we get help from consultants. So, but again, to answer your question, it does vary. But many times, more often than not, I guess it's really based on timing and funding.
Thank you.
Speaking of grants, are things on this list going to be affected by what's happening in Washington?
I would say that we don't know yet. We've not heard anything at this point, so we're still moving forward as planned. Yes.
No other questions? All right, I'm just ready to open this for public comment. There's no one here. Is there anyone online that wants to join? Not seeing anyone. I'll bring this back to the commission if anyone has anything that they'd like to discuss, or if we're ready to make a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve if no one else has any other comments.
We have a motion to approve. Do we have a second?
May I just make a quick comment?
Of course.
I just wanted to thank Kelsey for the staff report and, yeah, the engineering team for being here to answer our questions, so. I'll second.
Okay, a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Moving on, correspondence, communications. Do we have any correspondence from planning commissioners this evening? Peter?
I'll miss the next meeting. I will be back for the joint session we have with the council.
Great. Any other correspondence or communications from commissioners? Correspondence from staff?
Yeah, speaking of the Joint Planning Commission City Council study session, that will be held on June 30th, starting at 5:30, right here in this council chamber. So thank you for bringing that up. And then I also wanted to let the commission and the public know that the City Council and the Arcata Fire District Board will be having a joint study session on July 30th. The time is still to be determined, but the purpose of that meeting is to go over the results of the standards of coverage study that the university, the fire district, and the city worked on together, or funded together, and had Triton consultants come and put that together for us. So that'll be the first opportunity for the city council and the fire district to have a conversation about that standard of cover. And I think that's all I have for the commission tonight.
Okay. There being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.